Hello, everyone. We're back again. We're back on our home turf today. You know, it's been pretty wild lately. Just want to say, even since our last video that we talked about, we didn't even mention, there's been more shootings in the U.S. than days in the year so far.
Yeah.
Every single day, I just hear about more and more that are happening, especially more in California, too.
Yeah. Like we mentioned one that just had happened, and then I think that day or the day after, there was another one.
There's like 2 or 3 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't know.
Brian saw, where did you see that? Like,
online, the Half Moon Bay one.
No, yeah, that. But I'm saying you saw online that foreigners get like a disclaimer before coming here.
Yeah,
apparently. I don't know if that's true. But
yeah, I don't know either. I saw this thing that were saying, I guess someone flew in, I don't know from what country, but they flew in from another country to the U.S. and they gave them like a warning that there's been a lot of gun violence. So just to be aware, they're giving them like a warning.
To be aware of your surroundings. It's crazy.
It is nuts. I don't know. I hope something happens soon. Not like bad. I hope that just something shifts with where we're going in that situation, because it's pretty sad, and it's just, I don't know if like I don't want the younger generations that are kids to like, that's all that they have to look up for, is just like they can't even go to a school anymore. It's just going to be people at home. Like they're going to be forced to take school at home and stuff like that.
It's not even, yeah, but then you can.
It's not even just school that they're shooting at. Yeah, it's like other random.
Grocery store,
I don't even know.
Mall.
Yeah, I don't know. You're just gonna be like, don't go anywhere because you could get shot.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
It's yeah.
Um.
But hey, the people that say they're pro-life are also pro-gun, which makes no sense at all.
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like you pro-life when it comes with you being able to own a gun at your leisure, but no, when people are getting shot up for existing, like just existing, it's crazy to me.
Yeah, I think it's a topic that we brush over too quickly here in the US. I think we need to really discuss it more, and I think that people in power really need to talk about it more.
It's sad because the people that are preaching it have the littlest power, and that's not to discourage anyone. It's just like the truth of the matter. Like, yeah, there's power in numbers, but how many signatures until somebody like implements a new law? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just also because our voting system too, it takes so long to get anything through, and then if someone blocks it, and like it doesn't make any sense.
If they were getting paid off by the opposite of the NRA, guns would all of a sudden be illegal to own in your home.
Yep.
It's really fucked up.
It's where the money talks. So today we're doing a video, and it's called "What Does U.S. Healthcare Look Like Abroad?" It's by New York Times. I'm sure all of you guys have heard of that. It's a very famous news journal outlet company. But yeah, so let's see, and let's begin.
If healthcare is a constitutional right, then
that's a form of communism, because no country could afford those payments without seizing the assets of everybody else.
Welcome to Finland.
Wait.
Sorry, I just thought that was funny what he said. Anyway, we literally have to forfeit all of our assets, as if who has assets anymore? Let's be real. Like, first off,
only wealthy people.
And you have something in your eye. I also just think it's so funny. Like, okay, this is something I'm not familiar with. I'm sure I will learn on this or the next video about do like co-pays exist in Europe? Sorry, my mouth is still.
She's still going through the process.
I'm just struggling speaking lately. I promise it'll get better. But anyway.
Send good vibes again. She has a meeting with the surgeon tomorrow.
Yeah. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, do co-pays exist in like other countries where they have universal health care? Because
no, because I don't think you don't have to pay anything when you're there.
That's what doesn't make sense. If I had to pay for insurance, why the fuck am I paying to then pay again when I get there? Like, we pay a monthly fee for a maybe. Okay, fine. That's insurance for you, right? And then you do go for something simple. Like, I don't know, you're going for a physical or a checkup.
Yeah.
You pay like anywhere between $30 to $50 for a copay. sometimes more, depending on what you're getting seen for. That's just to literally be looked at by a doctor. Like, that's it. Okay. And then on top of that, if you get x-rays or any type of like lab done, not every insurance covers it. Some do, not all of them do.
But even,
and then like anything they do. And then on top of that, the only thing I could say we should definitely like pull out of pocket is for medicine. I don't think it should be nearly as much as it is. I definitely think it should be like going to getting a prescription should be like picking up like ibuprofen. Like the price should be kind of the same.
I wonder, let us know, guys. Do you guys have to pay for prescription medicine? I'm guessing no.
I think so. I think
that's a good question. I never really thought about that. If you guys have to pay for maybe just that.
I think prescription is what they have to pay for. I still don't think that it's nearly as much as we would have to pay here.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I was going to say, like, even say, like, if someone has a good job, so a lot of times their insurance still is pretty expensive coming out of their paycheck. It's coming out of their paycheck like $400 a month, even if you're getting paid like decent.
Yeah, I would say.
And that's for like the lowest
like
one.
200 to 400. Yeah, some of them it's like 200.
Well, because remember your cousin was talking about that.
Yeah, my cousin's about to be off her dad's insurance, and she's like stressing about it. Because
I mean, yeah, it's a stressful time. That's crazy that you guys don't have to think about that when you turn 26. You're like, no, I got to pay for my insurance.
I know. Not everyone gets to be on their parents' insurance either, though. Like, not all companies offer to like also like include the kids of, workers.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. But I feel like most do.
I would say majority, yeah. But even then, it's like they're still paying a lot of money for that. Our parents or whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
and it's crazy how we don't question it at all.
Well, we do when we find out that it doesn't need to be that way.
Yeah.
If the whole world did it like this, I do feel like less people would be questioning it.
Yeah.
But it's like we're the minority when it comes to how we treat our citizens as far as like first world countries go.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
This is supposed to be like land of opportunity,
home of the brave, home of the free,
and the everything, anything you could dream of. Opportunity is at your doorstep.
Oh,
dudes, what's going on? Oh my god!
it's making me so mad.
I mean, come on, guys. It's not that hard. Look around the world. Everyone else seems to have figured it out, right? Imagine you're in America. Which of these options would be best for you?
Thank you.
That's a lot to think about.
What is it? An oop max?
I guess with what I got here, I would go with Plan D because the deductible is 0.
Okay, there's more.
Gold, HMO, PPO, HMO.
And what are copays? I don't.
Oh God.
That's like.
You guys, that's all I have to say. I want to come back as a European in my next life. This is BS. I didn't okay, you guys are struggling. We are struggling. You know why? They do not teach you this in school.
Yeah.
You don't know how to fucking read this. And the best part about not knowing this is when you ask questions, you're felt to make like you look stupid. Like you don't know what a copay, you don't know what a PPO or HMO
or a
is.
deductible.
You don't know what a deductible is.
Yeah.
And then like people, especially like older people, will explain it to you like you're like dumb. They're just like, oh, it's obviously if blah 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 blah, and I'm like, oh, it's not obvious, buddy. It's quite confusing. And then they'll say, well, your copay will be cheaper if you pay more a month, but like that's only if you like for sure are you're coming to the hospital like a few times a month for like underlying illnesses. Like there's so many things you have to like consider about your health, where it's at now versus where it could be in the next year.
It's a lot of layers.
You have to like predict what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So unless you have something that you know is critical and you're going to need better insurance for, you most people will settle for like one of the cheaper options.
Definitely. Yeah. It's so expensive.
And the best part is that if, knock on wood, an emergency happens, don't they increase your insurance?
I believe so.
I could be wrong.
I'm not sure.
I know that happens with car insurance, but
definitely car insurance.
I'm sure it's the same in other countries for that.
If you pay for Spotify Premium and Spotify still makes you pay every time you listen to a song.
It's too complicated.
I'm lost. I'm so lost.
In Canada, I don't have to really think about the different plans that I could pick from.
You just pay one amount per month and all the major treatments are covered.
At least 70% of our medical expenses are always covered.
Uninsured, unable to afford treatment for a tooth infection that keeps flaring up.
Oh.
Cook Emma Rittner lost her job in March.
I did manage to get antibiotics from a friend whose mom regularly goes down to Mexico, and I've been taking that, self-medicating.
Poor thing.
Based off of Dr. Google's advice.
Dr. Google's advice.
Here in Japan, even if you lose a job, you would never lose your health insurance.
When you lose your job, that's when society should
help you.
I've chosen a creative job and had the backing of a healthcare system. But if you don't have that, do you pick the safe job or do you pick the creative job?
You pick the safe job, and that's how they trap you here. I'm sorry, but it's true. That's how they trap you in a corporate, mind-numbing job.
Well, in a machine, because America is a corporation. It's the most country I think that's like a corporation. That like we're all just the little employees.
We're all a business.
That if you choose not to go the normal route, they pretty much like you get like punished by having to deal with these things.
You're punished for not having insurance. Like legally, you have to have insurance, but it's on you to figure out how you're going to pay for that. And the cheapest option is usually an insurance that only follows you in your city.
Yeah. Well,
it doesn't even follow you in the entire state.
That is true, because luckily there is
let alone the whole country.
Yeah, there is stuff that California has that is more affordable. But yeah,
But it covers almost nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. And then on top of that, like I said, it only covers
in the
like
area.
a little group, and that's it.
Yeah, it's hard to find a doctor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I made an appointment a couple months ago for like a week from now, and they called me like last week and they were like, actually, oh no, they called me like a month ago, sorry, like a month after I made the appointment. They're like, actually that doctor's full. I said, okay, great, let me find another one. Found another one, made an appointment that was supposed to be a week from now, and they called me last week and were like, actually her schedule's all mixed up now, so you're gonna have to reschedule till next month after. And I'm like, solid, got it, thank you. Luckily annoying. Yeah, anyway,
but
sorry,
that's okay, go ahead.
The average price per unit for insulin in 2018,
Germany $11,
Canada's $12. Wow. It's like 8 times the price of insulin in Canada. I guess that explains why Americans come up to Canada to buy medication.
Yep.
I'm sorry, hold on. So the FDA doesn't have any authority over the prices?
We have also privatized health insurance companies in Germany, but the prices are regulated by the government.
The government negotiates the prices and fixes that price for 2 years.
In Singapore, they regulate this stuff to keep the prices down and, avoid like this happening.
Right, so I'm looking at an American medical bill.
Why is it so expensive?
$428,000 for rooms and such empty spaces. What?
Much cheaper to go Hilton Hotel than this one.
Skin to skin after C-section is $39.
I had to pay $39.35 to hold my baby after he was born. You need to pay money to hold a baby?
Yep. They literally charge for skin-to-skin contact, something that is like a necessity for the baby and the mother.
Yeah, that bill though they just showed,
the 600.
That shit.
You can buy a house.
Yeah, it's the cost of a fucking house. And like I just can't imagine what that person had to deal with I can't imagine what that person had to deal with after like getting that bill. That's an insane bill.
I would off myself at that point. I'd be like, that's not a life. Like, I'm good. Just kidding.
You're like, if they're middle class or below, it's like they're going to be paying that off forever. If not, they just have to declare bankruptcy.
Yeah. Which is something that affects your credit.
And
don't even get me started on credit. Which affects your credit for 7 to 10 years, depending. And they could take away assets, too.
So crazy. So I don't understand how they would put money ahead of people like that, but yeah.
It's so far, like, it's so extreme.
Super extreme.
It's not like here and there.
There should be a cutoff that says like, hey, when it becomes more than 20 grand, just cut it off. Like, don't, that's so much. Like, no one should have to pay for room and care, literally just to stay there.
And you want them to potentially take care of their kid or kids if they have them.
Yeah.
Pay off if they have student loans on top of that, which I'm sure they do, because who doesn't?
And credit card
and
debt
pay their mortgage or their rent and their car. Like, what do you want at that point?
I don't know.
Like, I remember
they want your soul.
I saw this girl on TikTok a long time ago. She was like saying how, I don't know how she got into debt, I forgot, and obviously an American, and she's, I guess, when like, I don't know if it was IRS talking to her or who, but she was like, you know what? She was like, take me to jail, because I genuinely would rather pay my time than pay this back.
Yeah.
And the lady was like laughing at her, like, oh no, that's not gonna happen, blah blah blah. And
they won't arrest you. They'll just keep bugging you forever and keep like increasing the amount until finally they'll just start taking stuff from you if you have anything.
Yeah, but it's like we're hitting times now where people can't accumulate assets the way they used to be able to. So it's almost like, what are you gonna take?
Only the really wealthy can now.
Yeah, people who can afford to pay for this stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
So it doesn't really affect them the same way.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't know, maybe.
Oof.
My brother Jamie, who's in a lot of our videos, was pretty badly injured. He's going to lose a couple fingers. If you can give $1 or if you can give $5, every little bit will help him and his family.
That's heartbreaking.
GoFundMe should not be something that people have to resort to pay for their medical bills.
So in America, people spend more than twice as much as in Japan for healthcare.
You know, if I paid twice the amount for a car, I would want the car to be twice as good.
So what's the life expectancy in the US?
Why is it less? The US should be on top of both of those lists. Like, if you're charging your citizens that much money, then they better be living the longest lives. It doesn't make sense.
I agree.
I really think it has a lot to do with how, like, there's too much stress within our lives here because of the way the system is made to stress us out about how to pay for things. And there's just so much hidden costs, and not even hidden, but just like there's so much cost for every little thing.
I think a lot of it is hidden.
I know, but it's like we're literally in America, we're like a pay to win video game.
Sorry, a pay to win
video
game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you have to keep on paying for shit in order to stay alive.
I mean, I understand contributing to society.
Yeah,
like,
but that's different. If we had our taxes all pulled together every year, and it says like, oh, it's going for people in case they need to have emergencies, or it helps homelessness, it helps people that when they get sick, and everyone for the hospitals and stuff. That's way different.
It's also pretty funny that we have to do our own taxes ourselves. Like, we have to file it ourselves.
Yeah, that's another question too that
we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, wherever you guys are from, how do you guys do your taxes? Like, you don't have to give me a long thing, but just like, do you do it yourself, or is it kind of done for you and then you just have to like give the okay?
Yeah, I've heard that a lot of other places, the IRS just kind of like sends you something on what you owe or if you get a refund or not, and that's kind of it. Whereas here, once a year, you wait for like your form, depending on what kind of worker you are, to come in, and then you file that. You go through like a 20 to 30 minute process online, or you go hire someone to do it with you.
And then you owe thousands of dollars.
And then you better pray you did it right, because if you didn't do it right,
they're gonna fine you.
You're not a human. You're a robot. You don't make mistakes, apparently.
Was it last year? She had to get in touch with the IRS because she wanted to question if something I think was wrong. Like, I think they made a mistake.
So it said I owed, and I was like, if I owe something, fine. But like the amount I owed, I was like, this is a bit much. So then I tried to reach out, never got to speak to somebody, and then the reasoning that they sent me in the mail was like 5 different things that it could be. They don't know, but it could be one of these. None of the 5 applied to me at all. So I was like, it'd be really cool if the people that are asking me for this money can, I don't know, give me a reason why I need to pay it.
Yeah, but they make it nearly impossible to get a hold of them to fix it. Like, they pretty much make it impossible to contact them.
Yeah, they're ghost land when it comes to tax season.
There was a report that even the people, like, I forget how many, like 1,000 IRS employees, they came out and were saying, yeah, I don't even file taxes. Like, we know how it is here, and then we know that they're overloaded, so we just don't even file them, or we just don't say that we did this or did that.
I mean, that
and
catches up to you, but yeah.
Yeah, well, they would be the ones to know if it does or not. But yeah.
Alec turned 26. He was no longer allowed on his mother's insurance plan. Instead, he decided to pay for his insulin over the counter at list price.
But the pharmacist told him a month's supply would be $1,300. He left empty-handed. Alec's official cause of death was diabetic ketoacidosis.
A couple of years ago, I developed a heart condition.
He was trying to ration the little bit he had left. I remember hearing about this.
That's so crazy. $1,300 to get his insulin.
It's crazy.
And I had to have my heart restarted 3 times. After the 3rd time I had it restarted, the doctor suggested I get heart surgery.
When I was 13, I started to get sick, and really, really sick. I was then very quickly admitted into hospital, where after 3 weeks I had treatment for a brain virus.
The cost of the operation, I think, is about $60,000. And then the next day, when I left the hospital and I got my bill, it was a bill for parking. It was about $30.
And was treated by royal doctors, had several MRIs, lumbar punctures, all for free.
So I was pretty happy that I lived in Canada and had universal health care.
I couldn't have survived if I was in America.
To know that I can get sick, I can get injured, but I will still be taken care of. That is freedom. This is not freedom.
I agree with you, sir. Sometimes I feel like when I watch these videos, I'm like, are they just taking extreme cases and like lucky people? Or like, do you guys genuinely feel like it's hard for my brain to wrap around the fact that I would never have to genuinely worry if I had to go to the doctor for something.
Like price-wise?
Yes, financially.
Yep.
Like that my energy can be focused on feeling better or having whatever needs to be done versus what is that bill going to look like at the end. I don't know, might be a little too much information, but the other day, it was a couple weeks ago, I woke up early in the morning and I had I was like, I don't know if it was a panic attack or what, but like I thought genuinely I was gonna need an ambulance, and I didn't want to call an ambulance because I was worried about how much it was gonna fucking cost.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even want to know how much it was gonna cost.
Probably like $2,000.
I don't know. But yeah, I was like sweating and the room was spinning, and my face was like looking like pale but also like yellow at the same time, and I just like laid on the cold floor until like I felt fine. And I remember thinking like, wow, I'd rather literally die on this floor than call an ambulance, which is really sad.
It's messed up, man. It's really messed up.
Like that wasn't enough for me to say this was an emergency.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
and I know it feels like a lot of times it feels like we're just like
rolling the dice.
Well, no, it's just like saying the same thing over and over, but it's just
I know, I agree.
Maybe it is good that we talk about this stuff because I don't know, maybe it's good to just keep this like subject alive, because it needs to be changed. It really does need to be changed. And I know people in the other countries, they see it and they understand that it needs to be changed, but people here really need to think about it too way more.
Yeah, I think I do hope more American people watch these eventually to see like
what could be changed.
Yeah.
And just to open up their eyes to be like, wow, it's not like this here or everywhere.
You're an American and you genuinely think that because we pay astronomically more for our health, that it's really that much better. Like, actually think to yourself, like, the last time anything serious has happened to you, have you ever been like, thank God I'm an American, I'm not a Canadian? Like, be real.
Yeah.
Or I'm not a European.
Yeah.
When it comes to your healthcare. Like, I genuinely don't think so.
Yeah, it's true. But
I mean, but that's, I obviously haven't gone through everything that other people have too, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
it's just unfortunate. It's not surprising to me anymore. It's just like, you have to actively want the worst for people to continue to go on the way we have, knowing
or
the
just not
economy
care
we have.
and only care about the best for yourself.
I just think they want people in and out, like you know what I mean? As quickly as you come into the store, they want you gone.
Yeah, it's like
it's
like a store, like you're like a retail store.
They're like, we don't want you getting too old because then you're not going to work and make us money. So like that's why they're so heavy, a lot of politicians, on like having babies.
Yeah.
And not having access to abortion, things like that, because they're just like, we need babies to run this fucking machine. I mean, that's how it seems, at least.
I don't know. Who knows? Who fucking knows?
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hope you enjoyed that video, guys. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, jump over to our vlog channel. All right. Thank you all. Take it easy, loners.
Thank you guys for watching. Bye.
Peace.